Hey, there we are.
Oh my god, I'm so short.
Well, yeah, you are. All right, we're good. We're live.
Do I need like a box?
Do we need a booster seat? All right. We are live from the Zelda Dungeon Marathon. Is that what I'm being told? All right,
That's what the screen shows.
all right. Let's do it in person.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Zelda Cast here at ZeldaDungeon.net. We are live from the Zelda Dungeon Marathon. It is day 2 of the Zelda Dungeon Marathon. We have raised, as of this live recording, $1,300 so far, going, of course, to the Starlight Children's Foundation. So great cause. Lots of time to donate. We're going to be doing this all week, and we have a very special guest today, David Geisler from another Zelda podcast. This is the biggest Zelda crossover event in the history of Zelda.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to be here. Thank you so much. It's an honor. Kate, when we first started the show, Another Zelda Podcast, my co-host Kate and I, we literally used Zelda Dungeon as a resource constantly.
Yes.
And it's just,
Yes.
I'm totally kind of nerding out here to be a part of this. It's very, very cool.
Nice.
I remember coming here my first year and seeing the setup and everything like that, and I was just like, oh my. I felt like...
This is another level, what's going on here. The amount of Zelda stuff in here is, I mean,
Right?
I'm like, my heart is racing just looking at all of it right now. It's amazing.
it's pretty wild.
Sometimes I feel excessive with like what I have in my collection, but then I come here once a year and I'm like, okay, I'm good.
I know I have a couple shelves of Zelda stuff in my house.
That's me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, for the last, God, I don't even know, two years at least, 3 years, I would float out on Twitter like, hey guys, we're looking for a guest. Who do you want to see come on our show? And I would say without fail, the most requested answer was get another Zelda podcast on here. We need someone from another Zelda podcast. We've been lucky enough to have Celeste come on our show, who was great.
My co-producer.
Yes, and so that was awesome. But we were looking to make this happen for a long time. So I'm so happy that we finally made it happen. And at this event, everything kind of fell into place.
That is super cool. That really touches my heart that people even considered us to be part of the party here. Very, very cool.
So I'm gonna throw out some toilet humor here. So I was listening to your Skyward Sword episode the other day.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Kate, and she was mentioning that she had named her Link.
Oh.
I farted. That was her name.
No.
And I told my wife that, and my wife is like weakness for toilet humor, and she was cackling in the car. I thought it was so funny. I was cackling when I heard that. So
Kate was
I loved
very
it.
proud of herself. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh man.
I must say that's one thing I like about hosting with Kate though. Is she just cracks me up. She always says something that I never expect, and we just roll with it.
Okay, so give us the origin story of another Zelda podcast. So and because you also have an affinity for, you like to record like this in person and get.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Tell us about that. Tell us about how you guys got together. Tell us about your website and stuff, because it's a very awesome, professional, like really nice looking website.
Seriously?
Yeah,
I make it. I make the whole site. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I made a site for Metroid too, and it is not as easy as it looks. So it's when it functions and when it's when it's like that, it's
That's great. We have, our blog writers and Celeste, everyone gets in there to like put the content on the site, but I did the design and I really appreciate that. That's really, really cool. The very quick version of Another Zelda Podcast is that back in 2017, my main co-host Kate and I were in a play together, and we played like a husband and wife in this play, some local community theater thing. So we had a lot of scenes that we were on stage together, but of course we had a lot of scenes where we weren't on stage together.
Right.
And so we just got to chatting during these downtimes, and I had just gotten Breath of the Wild on my Wii U, and she had just gotten it on the Switch, and we found that between every scene that we weren't on stage, we're just talking about Zelda, talking about Zelda, talking about Zelda.
Nice.
And I have a little bit of experience making podcasts, and it just kind of like a little bell went off, and I said, Kate, what if we do a Zelda podcast just for the fun of it? Like we're not, we're fans, not experts, the whole thing, but I thought let's just try it. And she was like, oh, I don't know. But after about a month there, we recorded our first episode, which is our top 3 favorite Zelda. It was like a real simple topic.
Yeah.
We literally like shoved ourselves in a closet in her house because we didn't even know where we were recording yet. And if you listen to that first episode, there is kind of a weird echo because we didn't really have our setup yet.
Yeah.
And so we've been going for about 5 seasons now. And around season 3, we started collecting a bunch of people in the Zelda community to write blog posts for us on our website. And that's given us the opportunity to also bring them in as kind of guest hosts on the show.
Yeah.
And so we just really talk about everything and anything Zelda. We don't really do news, but we kind of just do, the kind of stuff you talk about with your friends when you're just having a pizza late at night or something. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, so we decided today that what we wanted to do is, because this is like a celebration. This week is a celebration of all things Zelda. It's a celebration of our first live show together, really ever.
Yeah, in person.
In person,
Yeah.
We usually do.
Is it almost always the cameras?
Almost
Yeah.
always,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Al is Tri-Cities,
Tri-Cities, Washington.
Washington.
Wow.
I can never remember if it's Washington.
you both-
I
did
keep
you-
wanting to say Oregon.
If I may, did you guys have to fly in and stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a celebration. We
Yes.
finally get to record this in person, and we thought that it would be fun to kind of pepper you with some of our I call them isms, okay? And what I mean by that is over the years. So our show has been going on. This is what, year 4.5, something like that.
Oh, really? So we're kind of around the same age.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
show-wise.
We were so originally we rebranded from, we used to be called the Champions Cast for a long time because our show came out when the Champions Ballad was the new thing, right?
Oh, I see.
So we rebranded to be a little bit simpler, the Zelda Cast, but so in that 4-ish years, we have accrued a bunch of isms or running gags or things that we do and things that we say. So we thought that it would be fun to pepper you with some, and maybe in return, if we have some time at the end, you can throw back some
Oh my goodness.
some isms of your own if you guys have had any over the years.
I have to think about that. Let's try this out.
Okay, so I would say that the biggest running gag,
The number one.
of this show,
Yep.
is the word ugly. Ugly, and I'll tell you why.
Ugly.
So when you think of the game, The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess, what's the first word that comes to your mind? Is it maybe ugly?
No, I think Twilight Princess is beautiful.
Oh no!
It's my favorite Zelda game.
Well, hold on. Now, let's see if we can separate the game from the art style here for a second.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause I'm
sure.
talking like the guys with like flat heads, like the cone heads. I'm talking like the guy with the cannon. I'm talking like some of those guys you meet in Hyrule.
Yeah, some of the
Hyrule
people,
Castle.
they look like one of those dysmorph paintings, where the face pieces don't quite match up. And also, like, I agree that there's some beautiful parts, but, sometimes the Twilight realm can just be really bland and...
Yes. So that was our first ism. Was I was always complaining about the art style of Twilight Princess. We have a series called Definitive Ranking where we assign like either a 5 for really great or a 1 for really bad.
Okay.
And so I gave it like I gave it the only minus rating I've ever given in the history of Definitive Ranking for Twilight Princess's art style. It's ugly.
I will agree that the character design is definitely has an impressionistic kind of style. Definitely,
that's one word
There
for
are
it.
times where, and all the weird little eyebrows is a little strange. You're like, is that eyebrows? Do they have an extra nose? What's going
Or
on?
is it Beth? Her eyebrows are like all the way up here on her forehead or something.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And I guess for the character design, I can see where that's going. I'm speaking a little bit more to like so when it came out on the GameCube or the Wii or whatever, but I kind of consider it a GameCube game basically. Pardon me. I was a sucker for the bloom. I was a sucker for all the environmental effects. I thought it was
Right.
like a really gorgeous game in that regard. But
Yeah.
but it is true because I remember thinking like, oh, it's almost photorealistic. It looks so cool. But the characters definitely are not. That's true.
Twilight Princess has this amazing ability. Twilight Princess HD specifically has this incredible ability to somehow be brighter, but also more dark and
Yeah.
dingy at the same time. It's actually crazy.
I agree. I actually think the GameCube version is a little bit more beautiful.
Yes.
No.
So that was probably our biggest like running gag of this show is that we just like hated. I don't know if I should say
Anytime
we.
I mean, I have my issues with Twilight Princess, and I agree about the art style in that regard. But I mean, it's just one of those things. If Twilight Princess was mentioned,
And
on the show.
we should mention too, I didn't write this down, but another ism that we have, it's something called the Zelda scale. Okay, so the Zelda scale is when you are critiquing a Zelda game, as you know, it is our job to do. You critique it knowing that like the absolute worst Zelda game is like an 8 out of 10. compared to like any other game.
Yeah,
With maybe one exception, which we'll talk about later. There's one exception to the Zelda scale. So like we can sound kind of ruthless if we're dunking.
But it's still an 8 out of 10.
It's still an 8 out of 10. Yes.
Adventure of Link?
Well, it would be for her.
me.
It would be for her. Yeah.
That was rough.
It is rough.
It wouldn't be for me. There's another. I put it on my list, but we can just kind of go down and.
I
and
see.
Get that.
But
So
by the way, real quick, the only way I'm getting through Zelda 2 right now is because I'm playing it on the Game and Watch, and I can just freeze, like state save or whatever it is. Like when I play it cartridge, I can't even do
He's
it.
been trying to convince me to do it on the Switch because you can rewind, and I don't know if I feel like it's worth it.
I didn't die a single time.
I'm
I'm telling you.
I don't know if it's worth it.
Okay, so you're a pro Twilight Princess. So let's keep score. So
both Kate and I, before Breath of the Wild, felt that Twilight Princess was our favorite Zelda game.
Okay.
And some people agree, some people disagree. I'm cool with it.
All right, so we're gonna put down a disagree for I wrote down Twilight Princess ugly. I'm gonna take a picture of these notes after everybody can see. Okay, so the next one. I don't know if you necessarily agree with this or not, but I do. I feel strongly about this. One of the foundations that this show is built on is I love the Minish Cap. I think it is the best 2D Zelda by actually like a wide margin. I think.
I think it's my favorite one to play for sure.
Yes. That game to me is like the definition of less is more, especially when it comes to dungeons. Because we did an Oracle retrospective.
Yes.
What was that, last year for the 20th anniversary?
Yeah, back to back. The 2 games back to back. So
Which one did you play
Back-to-back.
first? Ages or
Ages.
Seasons?
Ages.
A lot of people do Ages first. It's interesting.
Well, I hadn't played it at all ever in my life, so that was kind of nice. But then we played Seasons right after, and I think that kind of messed with our experience a little bit.
Whoa.
A little bit,
Just a little bit.
And I like both Oracle games a lot
I do
actually.
And I do as well, absolutely. And then wasn't it the same team, pardon me, that went on and made Minish Cap, I think? It was that Capcom team, right?
Yep.
You can kind of feel it.
The only problem about playing those games back to back is they both have 8 dungeons each,
Plus a final.
and they all look the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
So it was like 16 dungeons plus some in a row. 16. And it was a bit much, and so I was kind of like, I'm really over these Oracle games, even though I really like them.
The Oracle games, it was Capcom getting that Link's Awakening engine, kind of like doing what they could with it. But I feel like Minish Cap, to your point, was then that team saying like, all right, we're going to make one from scratch, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it branched out and has a lot of unique things going for it. I think it does like a classic like. One thing that I think Zelda is really good at is like the dual worlds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You see that in a lot of games. I think this is like one of the strongest dual worlds that we have in the series. But like I said, less is more, because in Minish Cap you have got four or five dungeons and the final castle, and like it's not one after the other. But with Minish Cap you have unique themes, identities, and stuff like that. And I know some people maybe aren't fans of the Kinstone thing, and I can get that. But yeah, that was my hill to die on, is that I thought the Minish Cap is the best 2D Zelda. Al, how long has it been since you played Minish Cap? Expose yourself here on this show.
I don't know. I've dabbled in it. Like I've touched the intro for a second, but if I like being honest, the whole thing probably about 10 years.
Would you say at this point this is the
it's the
game
longest.
that's longest?
I haven't
Longest
played.
it's played.
Yeah.
I have it on the Wii U, but my favorite way to play Minish Cap is Game Boy Player in a GameCube with a GameCube controller, because you've got the big A button, and
Nice.
it's really great.
Almost anything is better than playing on a Wii U. I didn't write this down, but Wii U bad. That's another one of my isms.
I didn't have a Switch when Breath of the Wild came out, and I said earlier in this episode that I was playing Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. I literally went on like Facebook Marketplace and bought a Wii U from someone just to play Breath of the Wild.
Oh yes,
because I hadn't had a Switch yet. But that's how I got into my Wii U. I was a total late adopter. I got it years late. But anyway.
Oh well, I mean the thing about Wii U is at least now you can find all like the really good games for dirt cheap because they're all on the Switch.
The one good thing about the Wii U is that it is literally a Zelda machine. Like you can get almost every, and I have it. I tweeted this a few years ago. You can get every single game on there pretty much.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I really liked it. And I didn't mind the Wii U so much, but then once you play on the Switch for 5 years, the Wii U gets
it's a little bit tough.
It's a little aged.
It's tough to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Minish Cap is good. I love it.
All right, so we have one disagree and we have one agree. So let's move on. And this, I don't know if this can be, this is really more of like an open-ended kind of a question rather than an agree or disagree here. But I wrote down herding goats. Okay. By the way, if anyone watching this wants to watch me herd goats for like 15 minutes, you can tune in tomorrow for Twilight Princess. I'm going to be playing for 11 hours. God help me. So when I say herding goats, so one of the things that I like to beat up on my pal Twilight Princess for, who I do love. I love you, Twilight Princess. Okay, don't think I don't, but I like to beat up on it for its intro, which involves fishing, herding goats, calling hawks, dropping beehives, herding goats. Should I go on? Ilya.
That
We'll
intro,
talk about Ilya.
That intro is a bit of a slog. I'll admit.
It's a rough one. And so we did. Was it last week or the week before? We were talking about.
It was a couple weeks ago.
So we were talking about intros and what game is the worst. And I have a sneak suspicion about where you stand on this. But I'm putting you on the spot here. Maybe your favorite. Either your favorite or like your top 3 if you don't want to narrow it down. Intros and least favorite, because least favorite for me, no points for guessing, but it was Twilight Princess. But in a controversial turn of events, we both stuck our neck out there for Skyward Sword's intro.
Oh yeah,
we did.
Yeah, meaning you like it?
Yeah,
yes.
It is. Just playing the HD one a year ago, I was pleasantly surprised by that intro. It had been a couple years.
Nice.
Pardon me. Yeah, I thought that intro was great. Ocarina is always going to have a great intro.
Yes.
Because of just that Kakiri Forest.
I did the same thing when we were talking about it.
It's easy to switch them.
You recovered faster than Al did.
Yeah, I was like, what are words?
When I do that, I don't even recover. I just keep going.
Yeah, there was a lot. Season 1 for Another Zelda podcast, we said everything wrong, and we'd get a tweet about all of it. Now we just kind of go with it. But let's see. Least favorite intro. As much as I like Twilight Princess, on a replay, that intro is rough. Like the first time I played that intro, you're just so excited to be playing this game. You're in it for an hour or two, you're trying to figure out, okay, I guess I'm feeding a fish to a cat, and you're just kind of excited to be in it. But I've played Twilight Princess a number of times now, and every time I'm back in, I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, really, I really have to learn the slingshot again or whatever. But
you know what got me? I don't know why this got me when I was playing it the other day, but like when you get that fish and the cat takes it, and the lady's like, my cat's so smart. He just got his own fish. I don't know why, but I was just losing it at that.
Well, the thing about the Twilight Princess intro is that there are some things. The herding goats technically comes back late. Not herding goats. I guess it's the wrestling the goat comes back with the Gorons.
Right.
It comes back in that final fight. There are a few things that pay off, but that there's things like... Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I said.
There are things that pay off, but then there's things that are super random. They don't have anything with the game mechanics, like fishing for the cat.
Yeah.
There's no part of that actually informs a further...
you have to fish
you have to
once
fish for
later
the earring, right?
I don't know the earring. I
earring
know
reef thing.
The reef fish you have to.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
But that's what I was saying is that the purpose of an intro is to introduce you to all the things you're going to be doing in the game. This game just happened to do a lot of extra that was kind of unnecessary.
Is it cheap for me to say that I love the Breath of the Wild intro? I think the whole
I don't think it's cheap at all.
The first the
plateau.
the Great Plateau as an intro.
Yeah.
Great.
Top tier.
So cool. Because oh my gosh, that is one of those things where everything you need to know for the game is there.
Yeah, you're set up for the rest. I think we gave that S tier.
Yeah.
So we had 3. What do we have? I think we had Ocarina.
Majora's Mask, Ocarina, Breath of the Wild.
All right, so
Majora's Mask being a good intro.
A good intro.
That one challenges me. Being the Deku Nut for so long challenges me a little bit, as much as I love Majora's Mask.
Right.
Interesting.
I tried to, so I was trying to get my wife to get into Zelda, and she played Ocarina of Time, and she did pretty good with that. And I did give her Majora's Mask and that intro, or maybe it was the different mechanics or whatever, but it's not necessarily, I would say, new user friendly.
Yeah.
But I think like if you're like maybe a little bit of a veteran, or you played a Zelda game or two or whatever, it's probably a little bit more digestible.
Yeah, it twists it just a little bit, doesn't it? And
I think
that might be if that were to be someone's first game, that'd be a little tricky, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I said that this was open-ended, we weren't gonna, but I'm gonna put this as an agree.
For the herding goats.
For herding goats. Herding goats. That's
totally
our note.
agree. Totally agree. The herding goats part is like why? And so many times.
Yeah.
Twice. Why do you need to herd goats twice?
Twice is too many times. Twice is so many times.
I actually got off. There was this goat. He would not get in. I was like, all right, buddy, you want to do that? I got off. I had my little wooden sword out. I was chasing him, and then he turned red, and then he ran me over.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that could happen.
That can happen.
They get mad.
Yeah, I'll try and do that tomorrow for everybody.
I'll watch. I can't wait.
Okay, Al, this next one is yours. You take it away here.
Satori Mountain. Okay, so one of the running gags is Satori Mountain is probably my favorite place in the whole entire Zelda series.
Love it.
And it's my reasoning is it's like my first place that I stop for every Breath of the Wild playthrough because it has like all the resources you need. You can get all the ingredients. You can get, well, I wouldn't say all, but a majority of them. There's like an herb garden. There's an orchard with a crap ton of apples and trees that you could chop down for wood. Yeah. There's a pepper like camp. There's a mushroom garden that sometimes has butterflies and beetles on the tree. There's the what is it, King Lord of the Mountain or whatever. That's a really cool like environmental
Don't
thing.
look at me. I don't go to the Story Mountain. I don't know.
And then there's another area that's kind of to the back that has a bunch of really good resources. So that's like where I go up first because then I have all my stuff so I can start cooking and I could start getting myself prepared for my adventure.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
I love this.
Whenever people are like, "Where would you want to live in like Hyrule?" I'm like Satori Mountain. Like I could just camp there and probably live off all the resources.
That's good strategy. That's amazing.
Exactly.
I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel strongly about Satori Mountain before hearing this sales pitch?
So I kind of did, but not for those reasons. That's what's so fun about this, like being fans and talking with each other. For me, I came across Satori Mountain before I had seen it on any kind of YouTube video, before I saw it on any kind of 900 Things You Don't Know About Breath of the Wild video. And I came across it organically. Mm-hmm. And I kind of saw the Aurora Borealis thing that happened.
Yeah,
what's that?
yeah.
And I got there, and the tree was so beautiful, and the little pond was beautiful, all the pink stuff, and then I was like, this is great, this is a cool little spot, I'll continue. And then one night in the same play through or session or something, it was, it wasn't like years later, I came back and the Lord of the Mountain was there, and I was like, what is this? I felt like I think the way they wanted people to experience that part, I got it. It happened organically, yes. And so it like super moved me. I thought it was so cool.
And you know what? We should shout out too. It's a couple days ago. It was the 25th anniversary of Princess Mononoke, which I think very clearly is the inspiration for that. You know what I did the first time I saw The Lord of the Mountain?
Did you try to hit it with a sword or something?
I shot him with an arrow. Well, I was like, because you get the is it blurpees, the little rabbit?
the bloopies.
So I was like, okay. The blurpee will give me money if I shoot it. I'm gonna shoot this guy.
What's this guy gonna drop?
I felt bad.
That's a good point. I see your logic there.
And it was very majestic too, because I saw it was nighttime and I was like, wow, that mountain's glowing. I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah.
Check
I love the glow, especially if I'm like
very cool.
doing one of my speed runs and I see it at the end. And Lord of the Rings fans, I always say the beacon of Satori Mountain is lit. So yeah, that's my favorite place in all of Hyrule.
I often swing by, even if I'm just playing casually in Breath of the Wild. I often swing by just to like hang out by that pond a little bit.
Yeah, I had been to Satori Mountain. I never really paid attention to Satori Mountain. And then I was talking to Al, and she mentioned it, and I was like, yep. And I was talking to her like a week later, and she mentioned it again. I was like, where? And then every time I was like, Satori, what? Like, you're bringing that up again? And then now it's just in my brain. I have
it all plotted. Like, I know exactly where each part is, and there's like stuff even around the mountain that has resources. That is
I
awesome.
couldn't even tell you what the top region is called. I completely forget. Or where like on the other side.
Oh.
Akala?
Oh yeah, Akala.
So
whatever,
I couldn't even tell you what like
Akala.
half these regions are called, but Al's got Satori Mountain burned in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. And then having all those resources there, that's cool. Now I got to go there for other reasons.
Exactly.
All right, so I feel like I know your answer a little bit here because I was listening to your show. But
okay.
So one of the things that I think that we are known for, we kind of alluded to it, saying that we defend the intro of Skyward Sword, but we just defend Skyward Sword a lot in general. It's your favorite Zelda game.
My favorite Zelda game.
I would say it's, other than Ocarina of Time, it's my favorite Zelda game. So like we're pretty high up on that, and oftentimes we have to take a stand and fight for what's right on this show because our colleagues at this fine Zelda site, I don't know if they always agree with us on that.
No.
I don't know.
They do not.
When we first started making another Zelda podcast, this is like 5-6 years ago, it was before there was any rumblings of an HD remake or anything like that. I used to say to Kate, I want to love Skyward Sword, like back in the Wii version. And because I always liked the game, and even though in general I'm cool and even kind of pro motion controls, the whole idea that back when the first Wii came out and it was like, come on, everybody, let's get active.
Yeah.
Cool. But like, if the controls don't work, that can be very frustrating.
Right.
And so for me, there was that shift for Skyward Sword where it just kind of crossed that line where for me, I was like, I don't think this is translating to what I want Link to be doing. And so when the HD came out, I did play it with a Pro Controller and I really liked it. And it improved my experience with the game significantly. And so now Skyward Sword's up there. To say it's in your top 5 is like also,
That's,
I mean,
you got stiff competition in that top 5 though.
Right.
Like
I've got some favorites, and I think Skyward Sword these days is up there. Of course, I've kind of just played the whole thing. We just did an episode on it, so I'm kind of satiated right now or whatever. So I'm good for a couple years. There's other games I'd want to play first again, but it still has to rank under Twilight Princess for me.
man,
it's
that's tough.
okay, it's understandable.
Yeah, but they're
It's
close.
fine. As long as
tough,
it's high up and you like, because that's something we struggle with is some people don't even want to play it. And
Yes.
and I've been a lot more understanding in recent years. Like I get it, the calibration can be really gimmicky on the Wii, and I do really like that you have both options on the Switch now. And that was something we were really looking forward to. Is the Switch version was going to be kind of like a second chance for Skyward Sword.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because people
Well, I mean,
would
not
actually
only that,
get to
but
play it.
Released at the wrong time too. Like,
Yeah.
Just not,
Yes,
yeah.
the original. Yeah.
I think every single person in the world had their Wii packed away by November 2011. There was like a thick layer of dust on top of their Wii.
Right. And so when people still kind of didn't like Skyward Sword, I knew it was because it just wasn't the game for them at that point. So I was just like, okay, that makes me feel a little bit better versus I don't want to play this game because of the motion controls, so therefore it's a bad game.
Yeah. I'm happy that it can exist as a proper game now.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One thing that we've kind of theorized about Skyward Sword 2 is that like it again, it was kind of like the wrong time in the sense of like, yes, everyone had put their Wii's away, but also it was like the fifth mainline Zelda game in a row at that point that kind of followed the Ocarina of Time trail that it blazed, and I think that people were maybe looking for something a little bit new, even though I would maybe argue that Skyward Sword was like the pinnacle of that Ocarina of Time formula. We are talking about almost 15 years later after that, so I think people were ready to maybe move on and try something a little bit new, which is again not necessarily Skyward Sword's fault.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was Ocarina, blah blah blah, Twilight, Skyward Sword, and they were really, even Wind Waker in there. Wind Waker was like pseudo open world, blah blah blah. We don't have to get into it, but I do feel by the time I played Skyward Sword the first time, I was kind of like the rinse and repeat of the Zelda cycle for me was starting to have an effect a little bit. And Breath of the Wild for me has like cleansed my palate, and now it's fun to go back in. With Skyward Sword,
I can agree with that definitely.
I saw that Jules. Shout out to Jules, by the way. She couldn't be here at the Zelda Dungeon Marathon, but we miss you. But I saw that she released our old Skyward Sword HD episode. I was expecting, when we released this, neither one of us knew that you could hold down L and freely move your camera.
Yeah.
And so we made it on the show, and I bet you we had like 100 people be like, hey, you know what? If you hold down...
Were you just like jamming on Z or whatever?
I saw her share that, and I was like, oh no, we're going to get
that again.
Yeah.
I play with the camera a lot in Zelda games, Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
I use the camera. Sometimes I use the camera to run. I just push forward and then use the camera to run. I use it a lot, and so does Kate, my co-host. And that was the one critique I had for Skyward Sword HD is I wish you could kind of toggle the sword and look, because I just played that entire game holding that L button down to look around, and it's like, oh, now I guess I'll use the sword.
Right.
It would have been nice to swap that.
It would have been nice to have. Yeah. Okay, what do we got next here?
I'm having a blast.
Okay.
This is great.
This is awesome. Okay. One of the, I don't know how this became my thing actually, but one thing that I think our show has gained an identity for is our love, my love, I guess, specifically, of both, I only say both, but there's three, but really only two. Both of the Tingle games that were released in not North America.
Yeah.
So have you ever had a chance to play any of these?
No,
Okay.
I barely know about them.
So I'm gonna make my case here, and then we can just move on. We can call it an incomplete grade. But I think that Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land. Okay, that game gets memed on a lot. Okay, but it's a really fun game, and it fixes what I think is a little bit of an issue with Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, in that in those games you have to hold your 3DS or your DS, and you're using your stylus to move, and like you kind of got to hold it at an angle so it doesn't
First
like
of all,
way
I don't
down.
know who's playing those games like that, but yes.
Well, I'm telling you got to hold it like this. You gotta zip zap around with your.
Is it a sideways game? Is it one of those with the DS?
No, so it's exactly the same like layout as stop laughing at me, It's exactly the same layout as Phantom Hourglass, basically, but you can use your and you do have the touch elements of that, but you can use the stylus to move around, and then you use your what's the word I'm looking for? Stylus to fight.
You said that.
What am I trying to say? No, you use
stylus eye.
You use the stick to move around.
Oh, okay.
The joystick. Joystick was the one I was looking for.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yes.
And then the stylus to fight.
And the stylus to fight. There we go. We've arrived at what you need to do. So it's really fun. It's like there's some like quasi Zelda dungeons in there, and like there's obviously a lot of weird Tingle humor in there. But the really outrageous one is Tingle's Balloon Trip of Love. That actually makes Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land look very tame.
Balloon Trip of Love. Is it like a sideways floating?
Have you ever played Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney?
No, I'm familiar with the game. Never played it.
Okay. It's kind of like Phoenix Wright. A little. I would say it's closer to Phoenix Wright than it is to Zelda. But so what you need to do in that game is you need to find our man Tingle a soulmate.
Oh my gosh.
And you have your options of love interests to choose from, and you court these ladies while also going on a grand adventure. It's actually the plot is basically ripped off from The Wizard of Oz.
Wow.
Like literally so much that like the final boss is on a yellow brick road.
You're blowing my mind right now.
It's something else. It's something else. And I absolutely love it because it is so outrageous. But there's cartridges of this game on Etsy, by the way. There's a fan translation on Etsy.
Wow.
So if anyone's interested, you should check it out. But so that's kind of been a thing of ours over the years as well. So we haven't really had a chance to talk about this with a lot of people because a lot of people haven't. In fact, you haven't even played it yet, have you?
I haven't played it yet, but it is on my to play list. Andy got me a copy, so the Rosy Rupee Land, and I'm looking forward to it. Like I think
I'm telling you,
he's a little weirdo, but I love him.
Yeah, he gets beat up in this game.
You
Like
know
people
what?
hate Tingle.
So we have Moss's copy of Balloon Trip of Love?
Balloon Trip of Love, yeah.
And it's got a booklet, and you open the booklet, and you know what Tingle looks like, but there's like this picture of him that's like super jacked.
He's jacked.
Buff,
We'll show you.
Beautiful man in that green
yeah.
outfit, and I'm like, this is totally what he thinks he looks like in his brain.
That's probably it. Yeah.
Our man though, I'm telling you, you in Tingle's Balloon Trip of Love, you'll walk up to an NPC, you'll click A to talk. The first thing they'll say is like, "Oh, this gross guy is just trying to talk to me."
They kind of embrace it, huh?
It's like, damn, that's cold.
Yeah.
Poor
guy.
I don't love to hate on things, but Tingle does challenge me. I'm one of the people where I don't ever get excited at all when I'm interfacing with him in any of the Zelda games. I'll admit.
But would you say that having Tingle in Breath of the Wild 2 would be really cool?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so honestly, total vanilla emotional response to that. I think I don't care if Tingle's in there. The coolest thing about Tingle was Wind Waker. If you plugged in your Game Boy Advance, you could play as him as that second kind of the Tingle Tuner thing.
Yeah.
Tingle Tuner.
I thought that was awesome. When I did play Wind Waker on the GameCube, but that's not so much a Tingle thing as it was a mechanic thing. But anyway,
I guess that's how we got our
That's
rep
answer.
because I would go crazy if Tingle was in Breath of the
I
Wild
would too.
too.
I would be super excited.
I hope that all four of them are in Breath of the Wild
Yeah,
too.
like all his siblings.
and Dave. One of them's just Dave, right? Isn't that
Yeah,
right?
what is it? Like
They're like
Tingle.
Ankle.
So okay, one last thing before we move on from Tingle.
yeah,
Rosy Rupee Land has a basically instead of heart pieces, there's these things called rupee goods. By the way, we're gonna be streaming Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land in full.
When is that?
Someday.
Dumb o'clock in a couple days. I can't remember. Time is actually means nothing right now to
Right.
me.
How long have you guys been going already?
Just 2 days. Like it started
2 days.
yesterday.
Okay, right.
So I was up. I started a game at 2 and finished at 6. Took a little cat nap, and then we're doing this. And fortunately, I'm not doing anything until Twilight.
I got crossbow, whatever, later.
Anyway, so
I have that.
as your reward for getting 100% of these rupee goods, there is the most outrageous scene you've ever seen in a Zelda game. It's not safe for work. Okay, you can find it if you want to. It's incredible.
At the end of the Tingle dating game?
This is Rupee Land.
This is why they weren't released in North America.
There's a character called Pinkle.
I'm starting to think that these games were made with a little bit on the nose, a little bit of like, I think they were made with that sense of humor. They embraced it, it feels like.
Yeah, they did.
I did a review and I can see why they weren't released in North America. Okay, let's move on from Tingle here and let's talk a little bit of music because I think one of the things that we kind of eventually just found that we like absolutely loved. I've never in my life heard anyone else talk about this theme except for us two on the Zelda cast. But we are big proponents of the Monk Maz Kashia battle theme from Breath of the Wild 2. We might need to actually just play this.
Wait.
We should play it right now.
Right.
From Breath of the Wild 2? Or
Breath of
is
the
that that
Wild.
DLC
Sorry,
battle?
from
Yes.
the Breath of the Wild DLC.
Yeah, that is cool.
Like, that's actually like a certified banger, right?
Yes.
And I never hear people talking about that as like a great
Probably because
Zelda
a lot
tune.
of people don't get there.
Well,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Honestly,
Yeah.
you know, they just don't. It's like everyone remembers friggin' Hyrule Field, but this battle, I think you already have to have the DLC and you have to be good enough to
Good,
get there.
yes.
It was a blast to do it.
Yes.
All right,
Looks like you're pulling it up.
I'm gonna play this live here. So
Once all the ads go through.
once all the
I know.
ads, we tried to do this on Guess That Zelda Tune, and it was nothing but ads as well. Okay, here we go. Like, look at that! Doesn't that just get you pumped up?
Yeah, it
Your
was
blood
cool.
flowing.
It was cool.
Oh,
There's
This
some
is-
really good remixes of it too. Oh, there are. There's some good ones.
Well, I'm checking that out now.
yeah. So
love-
we're big fans of
Did
this.
you hear that piano just now? Just going
I
like.
know. So I've seen some people. So there's a flute that comes in there, and some people are like, I don't know,
yeah,
like
the
flute.
is so cool though.
But man, that flute, when that flute comes in, the song levels up.
My
Okay.
favorite part is the cowbell because that's about the only thing I would Be able
Donation.
to, nice, thank you so much. But like that would be the only part I would be able to play in anything is like the cowbell that comes in.
Let me tell you something, Al. I got a fever.
Is there maybe a prescription?
There could be a prescription. Okay, let's keep on going on. I want to save this one for last, actually. Okay, let's talk about Ilya from Twilight Princess. We're not done with Twilight Princess yet. We're not
Man, I
done.
think this is going to be a disagree.
This okay.
Kate and I love Ilya.
This is a
no.
disagree. I think Ilya might be the worst character in the series. I think she might.
We like her more than Zelda in Twilight Princess.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Like we ship them all the
Kate.
time.
Oh
No.
no. Okay, well I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, Zelda's epic in Twilight Princess. I shouldn't say that, but like as far as like Ilya's relationship with Link, maybe Kate and I nerd out a little bit about it, and maybe we get a little fanficky about it. But we like them being in love with each other. Let me put it that way.
I don't know about that.
We did do a ranking of the ships, quote unquote, or the love
right.
interests or whatever, and Ilya was pretty low on our
I
list.
can't remember what we put first, but I guarantee you I put Ilya last.
Oh my goodness.
I'll guarantee you as sure as the sun comes up tomorrow. Something about Ilya and like her scolding you when you didn't really even do anything to Epona, and like she loses her memory, and it's like, can you just like remember here? Come on, I got stuff to do, you know? And then at the end, when you get her memory back, she gives you this gift, and it's like the charm for calling Epona. It's like, Ilya, I'm turning into a wolf now. I'm way faster without the, like, what are you doing?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like if there had been a little bit more development after she got her memory back, it would have been nice. But it kind of feels like that's the point where Ilya kind of ends.
I hear you there, and I think that is one of my critiques of Twilight Princess, as much as I enjoy it, is that the second half of that game, a lot of the story threads do start to evaporate, and it does start to
Yes.
become like just dungeon.
Right.
Which
Yes.
for me, some people like dungeon in Zelda games. I actually, as long as it's not filler, as long as it's, Skyward Sword gets that way a little bit, like go back here, go back
yes,
here.
yeah, I agree.
But if it's not filler, one of the things in the first half of Twilight Princess that I feel is so strong is there are so many story elements that you have to do between the dungeons, and that does fade a bit in the second half. And I do think that the Ilya's narrative or whatever does, along with many of the other characters, does kind of fizzle out,
Right.
and that is unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying about Minish Cap, like I think less is more, and so I'm speaking from a perspective of most of the time that I play Twilight Princess for the Zelda Dungeon Marathon. So it's kind of like one sitting and you got to go, but like when I get to City in the Sky, I'm just like, oh my god, here
Oh yeah,
we
how do
go.
you feel about City in the
Love
Sky?
it, absolutely love it. One of my favorite dungeons ever.
Oh my god.
This is crazy.
Yeah, that's
the hook shots, the claw shots.
Okay, the
absolutely
boss
love it.
that is
cool.
my least favorite
Yeah,
dungeon
yeah.
in the game.
It was the first time I played Twilight Princess. It was my favorite dungeon in the game.
You know
I
what?
just liked
I
all the
agree, actually.
traversal. It was like, whoa, I'm doing all these crazy things, and you're on platforms that move to find other things. It was very cool for me.
I think we could maybe acknowledge that, because I really like City in the Sky the first time I played it too, but I think we could probably acknowledge that our situation
Yeah,
playing
it
it for
does
the
kinda
event that we
sour
do
it, yes.
I guess
changes
if the context is different, you're just trying to get through, or you're just playing it for a
Yeah,
different reason.
yeah.
I could see
That's
that.
that's why I refuse to play Skyward Sword at this event, because I don't want to hate like
don't
when I
wanna
get to
see
Sandship.
Sword. I think just my issue with it is I feel like a lot of the dungeons in Twilight Princess are kind of a chore. So once I get to City in the Sky, I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm so done with it.
What do you- This
Okay.
is random too. Do you like the Temple of Time in Twilight Princess?
Oh, that one's a little fuzzier for me.
The one where you basically go all the way up, you get the Dominion Rod, and then you have to lead the statue down.
Yeah, I remember. There's I think it's Temple of Time. I think it might even be that Twilight, when you go into the Twilight one. There's a few that are, for me, very underwhelming because they are basically like a hallway and back.
Yeah.
And they feel like half dungeons. Some of them don't even have a mid-boss.
Yeah.
So there's a few. Temple of Time might be one of them that is a little bit under. And also another thing is you start getting these like mini dungeons, and then you don't have the story around it anyway. At a certain point, you're just kind of like running to the end of that game.
Yeah.
That is true.
I think I'm weird because I see people say that that's like a bad dungeon a lot. And it's one of my favorite in the game. I really like the Temple of Time. But again,
beautiful.
in our context, maybe it's because it's like relatively like you go here, you come back. You know what I mean? So.
I love, my favorite kind of dungeon is a puzzle box dungeon. I love getting into a dungeon. Like, I love most of the water dungeons. I mean, I really get into them. I love to just be super confused for 20 minutes, and you slowly start picking up on subtleties, and you slowly start memorizing these larger things. I push this button, it moves this thing 9 rooms over. I love those kind of dungeons. They're my favorite. In fact, the water dungeon in Twilight Princess is one of my favorite dungeons of all time because of those stairs. I love that. It's so cool.
I struggle there. Okay, I'm gonna
I'm taking us off. I'm taking us off.
I'm gonna just get you to say these because we have some pronunciation.
Oh yeah, sure.
ones here.
Well, okay, so this says Majora, but I say Majora.
Yes. So Allison, can you
I
defend
don't know,
your
just
position
ever
here?
since I was 10 years old and I played that game, I've said Majora, and so now I get teased about it.
Well, I was my whole life I was Ocarina until we started the show, and
Me
then
too.
It was very quickly corrected by the fans.
Well, here's the thing that I mean, we can get into this actually after you pronounce the rest of them.
Well, the next one I think is an Fi, and I think we're talking about the character Fi or Fi.
Yes.
And people go both ways. Kate and I have talked about this a lot. I think we chose Fi. We preferred Fi.
But I heard both of you say both on your show, and I was like,
yeah, we were slipping.
We need a definitive ranking
I don't think it should be defined.
we do have a rule at another Zelda podcast because we're fans, not experts. We with reckless abandon mispronounce things, and we just say, guess what? That's how it is when you're talking with your friends.
Yes.
We're gonna. I say Bokoblin, not Bokoblin. I say, we just say them
it
how you want.
Bokoblin?
It's okay.
I say Bokoblin.
I've never said Bokoblin in my life.
I say Bokoblin because it
Me
feels
too,
like it's a
yeah.
variation of goblin.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
anyways, and then what's this one? F-I-S?
Well, that was either Fi or Fi.
Oh, I see.
So we had to nail down that debate. In chat, let us know if it's Fi or Fi, and the way that you can do that is you can type Fi like you're supposed to, or Fi with an E to signify that it's not right.
Have you ever heard that little nursery rhyme, the fee fi
Don't
fo
I
do
know, I
that
was
to me
thinking that
here.
too.
Don't do that.
So here's my thing about the pronunciation, because I've gotten into a lot of debates about it, and I've actually seen some people get really, really upset about it. So
I have to.
I just, at this point in my life where I've been playing Zelda games for nearly all of it, and it's just like you're going to pronounce things wrong, you're going to pronounce things right, and if people get really, really hurt about it, then
it's probably their problem.
yeah, that sounds more like I'm gonna say Majora for the rest of my life. So
We have a rule on this show too, where I'm from Canada and nothing we say is right. So there we go.
You did drop on a boot earlier a little bit in the show.
I don't think that's real. I don't think that's real.
It was light, but
all right. I'm gonna save this one for last. Okay, our next ism, which I'm gonna admit here on this show to everybody watching, I had a fun time playing Triforce Heroes with you yesterday. I did. However, that game is the game that breaks the Zelda scale rule. That game is the game that does not live up to its 8 out of 10 if you are playing solo.
Yeah.
Because it is miserable. You know that word right there
That
is
is
actually
another
an
ism, yeah.
Miserable is a common word.
I have 3 Triforce Hero DS cartridges. I'm waiting to play them with someone. We're going to do a review episode eventually. It'll probably be myself, Kate, maybe one of the other blog writers, maybe Celeste. I've never played it, but I can already imagine that if you're in there alone, it's probably just...
I think that's a pretty universal feeling about it. Yeah.
But let me offer this perspective as well, because I think, you know what, I actually meant to write this down, I didn't, but we can just segue this in here. I think that Four Swords Adventures, which is kind of like a game with a similar gimmick, right? I think that game is a blast to play solo.
Oh, I've never played it solo. I love it, but I've never played it solo.
I love it multiplayer, but like I played it solo, and it's a very different game because it's like kind of more puzzly because you gotta have your links kind of move in different formations, stuff like that. You can control them solo, but like I think that game is a blast to play solo. It's very different than playing with friends, obviously, but I can still have a really enjoyable Legend of Zelda experience playing that game. And Triforce Heroes, it makes me want to jump off my balcony when I'm playing that solo. So I just that game is the one to me that offends me. Because it's like, you broke the Zelda scale.
Yeah. I could see that. I love your point about Four Swords, though, how if you play it alone, which I'm definitely going to try now. I see it over there, and I see a collector's edition over there. So cool. I got lucky enough to find an inbox at a resale shop about 6 months ago. So we're gonna play it for AZP at some point. But playing it one play, because it is kind of chaotic with the 4. It's fun chaotic.
Yeah. It is.
It's Mario Kart chaotic or whatever. But when you play alone and it becomes a puzzle game, I never thought of that. That's kind of cool.
It's very different because like when I play, like when Allison and I play, I just pick her up and like throw her off a ledge or something.
Allison, what
I do that a lot.
What like of the 4 features, which one do you like to play the most? I usually like to try to have the map.
I don't know. I've only ever played it here, so whatever we have set up here.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Because what is it? It's one of them gets the map, one of them gets information about the boss, one of them gets the money or something. There's 4 different features that shows up on the screen.
I don't think we actually pay attention to that here. Our goal is just to make it to the end.
We definitely don't. Yeah, our goal is to survive.
Well, what they did was everybody has different information on their screen, and it's supposed to encourage/force you all to chat with each other.
Yes.
And say, oh, the boss is at 50% because only one person can see the boss life and stuff like that.
Oh my god, that would be so helpful for fighting Phantom Ganon.
Can you imagine just the text is flying across the screen in blue and red and
so the
green?
goal here at the marathon is for everybody has to play because obviously there's a crap ton of levels.
Yes.
And then we just got to finish it. So that's the goal.
And
that's the goal. Sometimes we just have chaos in between where Andy just is sabotaging everybody.
These guys
throwing people around.
Taking all their like force gems.
David, yesterday these guys, I was carrying our team in Triforce Heroes, okay?
You carried us to lava.
Moss, Al and I were playing, and Moss is like, all right, just pick him up. And they picked me up and carried. I couldn't even move.
Yeah, Moss was like over it. He carried him, but just carried him for the rest of the levels.
Come on, let me go.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, put me down.
Like, you're in timeout.
It's horrible. Okay, let's keep going here because we've got a few more that I want to get to.
Yeah, sure.
So, Allison, you give the backdrop here.
I have an explanation for this,
right.
But it is egregious. So, a few years ago, we were doing one of our definitive ranking, and one of the topics is pacing. And I have a reason for this, but I gave Wind Waker's pacing a 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Which sounds horrible. And people were like, what are you talking about?
I personally think Wind Waker's pacing is completely broken.
I understand that.
No. There it is.
So here's my reasoning. I was only thinking about the HD version because obviously GameCube version is just ridiculous. And I was also thinking for when I first started coming to the marathon, I was really into speedrunning. So I was thinking as a speedrunner, I know how to efficiently get through the pacing of this game. And I thought it was actually really good compared to my other speedrunning games. So I was like, yeah, this is an easy 5. And then when I kind of like came down from the speedrunning high, I was like, it's really not that good.
Oh, was it 5 on a scale of 1 to 5?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking scale of 10. I was like, yes, it is absolutely average.
No, 5.
That makes sense. That makes more sense.
No.
I actually love Wind Waker and I love playing it, but that second half does challenge me.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
And I get that now. Like,
and HD improves a lot of that, obviously, but. Yeah, I almost had a heart attack when I heard that. And I think we had Moss on the show as well, and I think he had to go to the bathroom. Oh, it was Corey. Oh, yeah. Corey probably gave it a 10.
No, he disagreed with me too.
I think those first 3 dungeons though, the pacing's great. You get into the other islands. That's all fun. That's like classic Zelda pacing, and then it starts to unravel.
Yeah, and part of it is it's not too many dungeons. Like the dungeons feel like just enough. It's the Triforce Hunt part that really gets people. Yeah. And I understand the GameCube version is ridiculous. And I understand it can feel like a very big momentum killer for most people, but like I said, since I knew how to do it efficiently, I was like, this is fine.
Well, right. Even Nintendo has kind of graciously admitted that they had to put a little filling on the end because that was one of the few Zelda games that was rushed to release. You know how like Nintendo's famous, we got it right now with the sequel to Breath of the Wild, they'll like push it back, because when it comes out it'll be great. Like that's usually their strategy. Wind Waker was one of the few games where there was like, because the GameCube wasn't selling great, there was like a deadline, they needed it, and so that one was a bit rushed.
We can lump this next one here too because we're kind of talking about the Wind Waker already. But
okay.
So back in the early days of the Champions Cast, and I hope he's watching right now. Taylor Wells was my original co-host, and Taylor Wells was notorious for his proclamation that the Wind Waker was the worst Zelda game. This guy, he tried to say that it was worse than Adventure of Link. It was worse than Triforce Heroes. It was worse than whatever else.
The CDI game.
That's strong.
I don't know if he said that.
Oh, but I'm sure he would think that.
I bet he might consider it. And I think that the Wind Waker for me is like it's probably a top 10, but it's on the lower end of the top 10 of my favorite Zelda games. Yeah. But I was like, that is outrageous. That is the most outrageous thing I've ever heard in my life. There is no world where this game is
the
worst. And Allison, you were never on that.
No,
train.
I love Wind
you
Waker.
hated it, yeah. I mean, I think we can.
It might be at like the bottom of my 5. It might be somewhere there.
Yeah.
Then it might be Twilight, Skyward, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I do. There are parts of Wind Waker. That first half, I do love it so much. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like I think Wind Waker has some things where like I think there's too much sailing. I think there's too much water. I think that I think that there should be more land.
Well, that was a system thing. It's because they couldn't load all that stuff. So they're like, oh, I know what we'll do. We'll have nothingness. It'll be water.
Yeah, and we get the ones that are just like, yeah, you can explore it. This is like an open world. I'm like, yeah, it's just kind of like water though. It's just more water. Like there's nothing really there.
You end up pointing at the island and then setting the controller down for a minute is what you end up doing.
But you all that you have. Great music, maybe one of the top 3 soundtracks in the series, right?
Yeah.
I think the story is really solid. The visual, I don't actually like the character models, but I think the visuals look awesome. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Everything but the character models.
One of my favorite Ganondorfs too, because he's like just a dude.
Yeah.
He's actually not that magical. He never turns into the big beast or anything, and he's almost. I wouldn't say you're not. It's not that you're sympathetic, but like he has a storyline, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got. I think solid dungeons. I wouldn't say the best dungeons in the series.
It's a solid Zelda
so
game.
Like, but so you have all these things, and it's like this is not even in the bottom like echelon of games here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Andy.
Okay, so this one has been a running joke for like forever, and she's gonna try and feed you some fake information here. She's gonna try and tell you that I do not understand this. But I'm here to tell you I do understand it. I just hate it.
Oh, okay.
Allison, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
All right.
No, you go ahead.
I hate the concept of malice from Breath of the Wild because it doesn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense in the fact that, like, I understand that it's like an evil, liquidy thing that is supposed to be like the embodiment of Ganondorf's hatred and stuff, and it can corrupt things or whatever. But my position, which I will die on this hill, is like if Calamity Ganon can use this malice juice to corrupt things, why didn't this guy use it 110,000 years ago or whatever in the past to corrupt the divine beasts in the first place before he got put into prison?
Have it back then.
But why? Why didn't he have it?
Building up, right?
You got 10,000 years being
well, then
sealed
how
away,
did it get out of
everything.
prison?
Because it's hatred. Like, it corrupts and that's like
horrible.
what it does.
Horrible.
Okay, you can. It's like the same concept as the ring. It's not completely explained how it corrupts men, but it does because it's filled with hatred and power.
But Miss Salitha, the ring was at Isildur's finger and then fell into the river, and then eventually when it made its way to the Misty Mountains. Malice was just, it came out of Ganondorf's prison cell as like interdimensional prisons. I hate it. And I can see everyone in chat just absolutely losing it.
It's also the
right
same.
now.
Wow, there's chat going on over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also
This
the
is
same
amazing,
as
this setup.
They hate me right now.
Demise, he is slowly breaking out of his 1,000-year-old seal as well. So how do you explain that? Are you okay with that?
What? Demise? Talking about Breath of the Wild.
I know, but I'm comparing it to other things that do the same exact story elements. You just like to be told directly what something is versus inferring it from the rest of the story.
We need a
Mom, Dad,
here.
we're gonna need to separate.
We've had this argument so many times, and usually
on air, off air.
Usually it's actually in text, so this is nice to be in person, so I could just.
I've never put too much thought into the malice, except that I've just accepted it as a manifestation of. I also feel like it's been growing. I said it earlier. You know what I mean? It feels like it wasn't there 10,000 years ago, whatever it was, and it's been building up. Mm-hmm. The evil juice, I get it. It is a little, like you said, it's the most frustrating thing about malice for me is how it's just kind of splattered about on the land
Right.
a little bit, and that's fine. And I get it, but it's basically lava. Then mechanically, it's just lava, or it's not even, because I guess you bounce off it and get hit. And there are times where I wish this was a little more interactive. I can do stuff with water. I can do stuff with, this malice is here and I just can't pass it. Okay, fine. You shoot an eyeball.
That's fine. Your thing with it is just
More of a lore
silly.
thing.
Well,
Yeah.
mine is like, if this is something that formed while Ganon was in prison, I want an explanation how it was able to break out and corrupt these divine beasts. I need that explanation.
We might get it in the sequel to Breath of the Wild. There's a lot of malice in that
You
trailer.
know,
There's a lot of malice in
I've
that
been
trailer.
on this fool's errand saying that for like the last 5 years now, and I don't think we're gonna get there. I've been informed, by the way, that everyone upstairs is laughing at me about this.
Yeah.
So
I can
I'm
hear
sure.
them right now. I heard a few just now through this.
Yeah.
you know what? I don't care. Okay, I will die on this hill. Malice does not make it's no good. In Princess Mononoke, they tell you that it is like the embodiment of hatred, but it comes from a bullet. There is a physical reason for it to exist.
Annie, they say the same thing in Breath of the Wild.
No,
They literally
Ganon
do.
didn't get shot with anything.
Okay, we have to cut this off. We would rant forever.
Oh boy.
I'm
Okay.
just trying to make sense of it all.
Once you think about it, you can never unthink about it. I'll tell you
This
that.
off the air. This is a whole other episode.
Yes.
Man alive.
Okay, so we're getting to the end here, but I did want to float some stuff by you here,
Okay.
because of course.
Like, where does the malice come from? I'm just joking. Okay, no, I'm just joking.
So, and hopefully we find out in Breath of the Wild 2, which we're going to talk about right now. So
okay.
everybody was looking for a direct for this summer, which is very clearly not going to happen. So what? I guess tell me. Just you can elaborate as much or as little as you would like to here, but
Sure.
What are you kind of looking for in Breath of the Wild 2? What are you expecting? What are you hoping that it addresses, either storyline-wise, gameplay-wise, whatever? The floor is yours. Just tell our audience like a little bit what you're hoping for.
I do have some thoughts. Are we till, 10:15 here? We got a little bit?
I was told we can go for as long as we need to.
Oh, okay, cool. All
But
right.
I'm
excellent.
getting told that is not the case. Never mind.
We just got we got 5
Okay,
minutes.
yeah,
we got 5 minutes from the tech.
Yeah.
So I'll be brief, but maybe I'm just being a fanboy, but I'm very excited to have what appears to be the Ocarina Twilight Princess Ganondorf coming back.
Yes.
Very excited about that. That was the one thing I kind of missed in Breath of the Wild. In Breath of the Wild, the Ganon element is really just a force of nature, not even really a character. And I was fine with that for Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, it's all about the wild, and okay, it's force of nature. I'm really excited to try to get that Triforce back, that Ganon and Zelda
Yes.
Link thing back. That'd be cool. I did not expect all the flying islands when the first trailer.
Yeah.
I was really Okay, there was one thing that well, anyway, there's going to be a whole thing where I'm going to talk for 10 minutes. But I didn't expect the flying islands. I think that's cool. I expected to go underground. Especially after that first trailer, I thought, okay, we're going to get dungeons underground. But
we
now
were
it
looking
might
for
be.
like a dark world. I was sure we were going to get that.
I was excited about that big old beast in that first trailer that Link and Zelda were with, like being almost like a camping mechanic. I was very excited about all that kind of stuff. The shrines were fine. I think everybody feels this way, but now that we're used to an open world Zelda, I feel like we could probably pull some classic dungeons back in and people would be okay with that.
Yeah.
I think if you did, the reason they did the shrines in Breath of the Wild, I feel, is they just took their 8 dungeons, exploded them into a bunch of pieces, every room, and that was to help people get used to, like, oh, I'm not just going to follow the one trail. I can go anywhere, and we need people to explore the map. Fine, we're used to exploring the map. We'll explore it for Deku Seeds. Let's put some classic dungeons in there. I would really look forward to that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're coming. I think there's going to be shrines. I think the shrines are definitely going to come back. But I do think there's going to be. I think there's going to be dungeons that are akin to what we saw with Hyrule Castle. They're going to be closer to that than they will be to like the Divine Beast.
I agree
I
with
would
you.
say.
And they're probably going to be, some of them are going to be these floating island things.
Yeah,
It's going to be like, go from that one to that one to that one. I am seeing in some of the trailers a little bit more like the mechanics. Those classic dungeon mechanics kind of started to seem to show up in the most recent trailer. So I'm in. Also, the 2 Link models, people are now thinking there's maybe some time travel. We'll see.
I'm a big person on that time travel. I want him to go back in time. We love this about ages, but I want him to go back in time to 10,000 years ago and be the hero from the past that puts into motion the story that
Can
we
you imagine? Then
be
they
awesome.
could explain where malice comes from and why
I'm gonna
it's
punch
there.
you.
But
Like-
the thing is, my favorite thing about Age of Calamity is the because I want to give you guys time. I'm so sorry. My favorite thing about Age of Calamity is the rebuild of like you go into there's actual towns, there's actual markets. Half the time I play
I did
Age of
like that,
Calamity,
yeah.
and I just walk around. Like
Yeah.
it's like, come on, we got to go to this part, and I'm like, no. Look at this apple cart right here. This
Yeah,
is great
this is cool.
because it's not the ruins, and
Right.
maybe there's a version. I don't know who owns those models, if it's Nintendo or not, but like. It's built. We've got
That's
we've
some-
got some towns built up. You know.
People have been saying that they
Yeah.
want to see Hyrule kind of rebuilt.
Rebuilt.
Yeah.
In Breath of the
If
Wild
I could
2.
get what I in Twilight Princess, Hyrule Castle Town, whatever, all that hustle and bustle. If I could get
Yeah.
that in an open world Zelda thing,
I'd love that.
I would be.
Yeah.
I don't
I would
even know
love.
what I would
I'd
do.
love seeing more people kind of on the paths from like one village to another. Because I always kind of felt it was like very cool when you ran into someone and it wasn't like someone from the Yiga clan.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, somebody like in the wild. Like this is great.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved it. So that's my
So
thoughts.
yeah. Okay. Well, we are not done with this Zelda crossover because we're gonna keep this train rolling, and you can look forward to an episode with us on another Zelda podcast sometime in the future.
We're gonna get up here. We're gonna go to another room. We're gonna record, and I think it's gonna come out 2 episodes from where we're at right now.
All right.
Oh, cool.
All right.
It'll be
so-
after Monumental Moments or something. But anyway.
So yeah, so we're this train is gonna keep rolling here, and of course the Zelda Dungeon Marathon is gonna keep rolling. We are going for another 6 days, 7 days,
Yeah, something like that. 6 days.
24/7. I'll be doing like 70 hours of Twilight Princess. That's what it's gonna take for me to beat
Yep.
the game. We got Minish Cap Mayhem coming up. Al and I are teaming up for Four Swords. It's gonna be
Oh my
fun.
gosh.
Yep.
Next we got the fine Zelda title, Faces of Evil, coming up
Right.
on the
Yes.
CDI.
That's my favorite CD.
So you want to stick
I
around
love
for
it.
that. And yeah, this was a crossover event that I'm so happy
I had
that
so
we were
much
able
fun.
to put together.
This was so cool.
This
to
is
like be in the
awesome.
same room with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one thing magical. I can see what you mean about like recording in person is just there's something.
that's nice.
There's something
I like
magical
it.
To
about
see
it.
the little micro expressions, to get
Yes.
the vibe. You know what I mean? It's important.
It's so awesome.
To
And
feel like literally my
Yeah.
just like vibrating.
although
in
I
your
thought
head.
that Al was gonna hit me. I did. I thought that she might.
I want to thank you guys for inviting me on. It's so cool. We were talking about like anytime you were in Chicago, we try to do something, and then
Yep.
Andy, you made this offer, and it's just been a dream come true for me.
Yeah.
I've looked up to Zelda Dungeon for years, and just to even be here on this stream is I'm like totally fanboying out here. So thank you so much.
This was definitely awesome. Tell everybody where they can go and find you and your podcast and everything like that.
Our show, Another Zelda Podcast. The easiest and quickest way to find it is just to go to our website, anotherzeldapodcast.com. We are on, obviously, the Apple Podcasts and the Google Podcasts and Spotify and YouTube and all of that. On Twitter, we're just Another Zelda Pod. Instagram, Another Zelda Podcast. That's probably the best way to find us.
All right. Well, we are out of time. We're going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for making fun of me in chat. That was much appreciated. We want to encourage you guys. Check us out over on Twitter. I am at Spateri316. Al is at Allison Aletha. David is at Raptor Paint. We are at the Zelda Cast, and we are at Zelda Dungeon. Head over there. And like I said, we got a lot of Zelda still here to come this week, as you can tell by that Faces of Evil theme that's rocking right now. So
They're getting set up. This is so cool. This
yeah.
is so cool.
You guys know the drill. Everywhere you get your podcast, like, subscribe, recommend us to that Zelda fan in your life. We will see you guys next week, if not sooner, for the Zelda Dungeon Marathon. Take care, everybody, and see you later.
Bye.